This conference will now be recorded.
Well, greetings everyone, and thank you for joining us on today's Chamber Stakeholder Conference call. It's a beautiful day in Nacogdoches. It's a little sunshine after our rain, and it's good to hear what's going on in our town now. So my name is Kelly Augustine. I work here at the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and you heard this is going to be recorded and shared through our YouTube channel. We have invited the media to attend or to look at that recording later for more ideas or for them to hear. And I'm glad to say that we have some good information that's going to be shared during the feature part of this call, with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, with Burke being our sponsor right now for this call. It's rather fitting to have Kinnie, Reina, the Director of Communications for Burke, with us. We also have Alana Culpepper with us. Alana founded NAC's Safe Place, NAC's Safe Place. She is a native of Nacogdoches. She has worked with Oceans Behavioral Hospital in Lufkin, but she has, it seems like, a passion for helping and creating awareness of mental wellness here among our community. And Elena, I appreciate your work in that area. So let's go ahead and start with Kinnie Reina.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. I did ask just a minute ago in the chat, can I share slides or do you want me to not?
You can,
Do you have that?
let me make you a presenter, and that way you can do that. You should see something on your screen.
Okay. I've got too many things open. Let's see. Well, oh, okay, here. Let's do this. Okay, that should work. Possibly. Is it sharing or no? Okay.
I don't see anything, Kinnie. Do you have a
Okay.
little button down there, an icon that has the word
Oh,
screen
wait.
under it?
It wants me to allow GoToMeeting to have my screen. Just a moment. I don't know.
Would Elena like to talk about her event and what she's doing at NAC Safe Space, and we could come back?
Well, I don't have to. I kind of wanted to lead into her stuff, but
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have to share it. But one of the things I wanted to go over is just, I think a lot of us know what mental health is, and people talk about mental health a lot more than we used to. But basically, it includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. So that's the easy way, how we think, feel, and act. Determines how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Sometimes individuals that are off in their mental well being may not make the best choices for themselves. It's important at every stage of our life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. And I always like to say that mental illness affects a person's thinking, feeling, behavior, or mood. It can affect your ability to live, learning, and working. So whether someone's in school or someone's working, it affects your ability to live, to laugh, and to love. Those are kind of the easy 3 L's that it affects. It can affect day-to-day living and may also affect the ability to relate to others. It can be, usually it's not the result of a mental illness, is not the result of one event. It's genetics, environment, lifestyle, all of those influence whether someone will develop a mental health condition. A stressful job or home life can make someone more susceptible, as do traumatic life events. And those can be, flooding or tornadoes or car wrecks or a death in the family. Those can all be traumatic life events. Biochemical processes and circuits in the brain structure may also play a role. And so none of that means that someone is broken or that they or their family did anything wrong. Mental illness is no one's fault, and many people recovery, including having meaningful roles in social life, school, and work, doing those 3 L's. Starting treatment early, having a recovery process, all that can help. Just general numbers, 1 in 5 adults is generally what we've seen maybe impacted in their lifetime. Experience, or well, 1 in 5 experience mental illness in a given year. 1 in 25 live with a serious mental illness such as schizophrenia, major illness, or bipolar disorder. And those 3 used to be the ones that Burke just treated. You had to be the sickest of the sick to be seen at Burke. And with expansions in our funding and things like that, we've been able to see more and more individuals and help with some preventative cases as well. Um, and so in 17%, we sometimes even see up to 20% of youth experience a mental health disorder each year, and that's 6 to 17. And then half of all lifetime mental illness begins by age 14. So that's why youth mental health is important as well. And I'm going to go over the warning signs and then let Alana start talking about kind of why she started NAC Safe Place. And I can tell you also why I got involved with that. But so our common warning signs, and these are the top 10, and this is something that happens all of a sudden to somebody, or sometimes we say last 2 weeks, can last that long. So if it might be, some up and downs that happen with situations, it may not be a mental health concern. So number 1, feeling very sad or withdrawn for more than 2 weeks, seriously trying to harm or kill oneself or making plans to do so is a sign. Severe out of control risk-taking behaviors. 4, sudden overwhelming fear for no reason. Number 5 is not eating, throwing up, or using laxatives to lose weight, significant weight loss, or weight gain. So it can be an eating disorder, and that is considered mental illness. And 6 is seeing, hearing, or believing things that are not real. 7, repeatedly using drugs or alcohol. 8, drastic changes in mood, behavior, personality, or sleeping habits. 9, extreme difficulty in concentrating or staying still. And 10, intense worries or fears that get in the way of activities. And some of the things if you see those things in individuals, it's important to be able to start a conversation with them and to offer help and offer support. I've noticed that you haven't been acting like yourself lately. Is something going on? Being able to say those things. I've noticed you're sleeping more, you're eating less. Is everything okay? Offering support. Let's sit down and look for places to get help. I can help you with that, or I can take you somewhere, offering that support, being patient, understanding, providing hope are all things that we want to do. And even including that loved one in your life, not always just like, hey, are you okay? How you doing? Don't just get those answers. Maybe say, hey, let's go do this together, or let's get coffee, or let's go, I'm doing this, come with us. And where they're included and not out of sight, out of mind. And if you don't know what to say or how to talk to someone, reach out to me or Elena. We do have trainings on mental health first aid. That's actually a 6.5-hour course that can help you practice and what to say and how to know if someone has signs of a mental health issue. And then one of the things is if the suicide topic does come up, that someone says they're thinking about it, we teach, don't just say, are you thinking about hurting yourself? That's one way to start the conversation, but have you had thoughts of suicide? Have you had thoughts of ending your life? And we don't always like to say those things, but saying those things can be, someone will say, oh, no, but it's like, yeah, actually. And so when you do that, if you don't know what to do and they say, yeah, say, here, let's call the hotline together. You call 988 together. And so, and that's what we're hoping Next Safe Place will provide as well. And so, Elena, last spring, it came to her as a, we have to do something, hearing about individuals that should know about resources and should know about mental health and aren't getting help and aren't reaching out, wanting to address those issues in our community and having a safe place for individuals to go. And it's not a hospital or the police department or Burke, it's, a separate kind of standalone place run by volunteers. And when she asked me to serve on the Safe Place board and that it was focused on suicide awareness, and it fit perfect with my job here at Burke, to be part of that initiative. And so, I'm going to let Elena talk more about her dream and talk more about the event now.
Good morning, Neck Chamber. I'm so excited and thank you, Kelly, for asking us to come and be a part of this. You are absolutely correct. Mental illness and mental health are my passion. I've been doing it for 9 years, so it's great. Um, my background is in HR and in business, so I'm completely out of my realm. I spent all that money on degrees and not doing anything that I'm supposed to be doing. But that's okay. That's how it always works out. So just a little bit about why Next Safe Place was created. Back in 2022, 21, especially the height of COVID, there was an increase in suicides in Nacogdoches that probably y'all have probably will never know about. So within a matter of 3 months, we had like 6 suicides in Nacogdoches County. That's a lot in our little rural area. And so I work every day in it. I see patients every day who are suffering from, feelings of helplessness and worthlessness. And they just was like, if I just could talk to somebody. And I'm like, okay, you're right. Like, I'm here to talk to you, but I can't talk to them all night, right? Because I have other patients that I have to see, and I wanted to do something about it. So I got together with some community leaders and said, hey, let's go to the table. Let's see what we can do. So we got to the table and we decided, you know what, let's bring awareness first. So we got a suicide awareness walk that took place last September. Because you know that Suicide Awareness Month is in September. So last September, we did our first annual Suicide Awareness Walk. Huge success, right? So they was like, well, we'll send all the money to NAMI so they can be a resource in our area. And Jason Bridges was on that committee and said, but what about in Nacogdoches? We need something that can keep a resource here in Nacogdoches. I said, well, let me go back to my drawing board and we'll come back to the table. And I don't know about you guys, but the good Lord, I don't know why, he likes to speak to me in the bathroom. And that's where that's where it was birthed. I was in the bathroom. I don't can't remember if I was showering or doing my hair, but the word safe place came, and I was like, safe place, okay. And as he began to reveal to me what it was, I went back to the team. I said, here we go, we got it. So we have developed Next Safe Place, and it is going to be a safe haven, right? It's going to be a place where people can come and just talk. Or if they don't want to talk, somewhere where they just feel safe, where somebody's there with them. Because a lot of times people don't understand that people don't want to talk to you. They just want you to sit there with them. Your presence says so much. And so that's what we're going to be. The great thing about us is that we're not going to open till 6 p.m. Because the one thing I found in listening to a lot of the calls that the judges got, on these suicide cases, these calls came in late at night or 8 o'clock at night or 1 o'clock in the morning. So we won't be open until 6 p.m. And we're going to work with the police departments at School of Social Work, SFA. So when they get calls in the middle of the night, somebody's there and they can bring them to the safe place. And if our volunteers say, call me and say, hey, Miss Elena, this person has a plan, they are adamant, they need higher level of care. That's where I come into play because that's where I do every day for Oceans is find placement for people. I'll be able to use the resources that I currently have to get them into in a hospital, whether that is MHEC in Lufkin or Oceans, or if I have to send them to Houston or Shreveport, I have connects with all of those people, and I'll be able to connect them and get them the help that they deserve and that they need. Um, just recently, I also got a good connection for a drug and alcohol rehab up in Kaufman County. So I'll be working with them as well with Safe Place. And so I'm super excited about that. So fast forward, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Woohoo! Took us a long time to get it, but we got it. And this Friday, we are having our first ever fundraiser. It's called Kentucky Derby Tea and Whiskey. So we have a lot of people who are excited to put on their fancy Kentucky Derby outfits and come and celebrate with us. We have a bartender coming all the way from Houston who has come up with some fantastic drinks. HTO in Nacogdoches is our tea sponsor, who has 3 teas that she'll be bringing for us. And then we also have Chef Brittany Vincent, who most of you know, who is the owner of Tomei Catering and also Houston SBA Businesswoman of the Year, will be our inspirational speaker as well. So we put a little twist on it, and y'all know when y'all go to most fundraisers like CASA or Boys and Girls Club, they all do a silent auction, right? And I told the board, I said, I feel like every time we go to the silent auction, because I go to them, they always hit the same people for their packages. So, a night at the Fredonia with the steakhouse and this and this. Well, I didn't want to do that. So we are doing the first ever group date auction. And I have 5 guys who have graciously they're going to allow us to bid them off. I tried to get Gary Lee, but I don't think Charlotte was too happy about that. So we have 5 guys that have graciously, their wives, some of them are married, and their wives were like, yes, auction them off now. I was like, okay, great. So we have 5 guys who have graciously donated their time. They're going to be auctioned off, and all of that money will go towards opening our building. We have secured a building and have we'll pick up the keys on Friday. So we're very excited about that. We still have tickets and tables available for sure. Actually, 3. That's it. That's all we have left. So we got either 3 tables of 8 or 24 tickets, however people want to see fit, but they're tables of 8. But the guys have been working so hard. They have went out and got gifts for the people who win them. I know one of them, they got a spa package for Queen of the Day worth like $350. I was like, I may need to bid on you. Just so I can win that. But we are so excited. We will be joining the chamber under the nonprofit hat because we have secured the building. The lease is good, and we pick up keys on Friday, and we're excited. So everything that we work for and build and raise on Friday goes into our account will be to start getting our building open. We have so many volunteers that said, hey, I'll help paint, I'll help do this. Godzilla, the signage, they are going to be doing all of our signs. They're going to scrape all the stuff off of the from the old CPO building, take it off and put up new signage. So it's a new resource, not just for Nacogdoches. Let me say that it's not even just for Nacogdoches, but it's also for the Deep East Texas area, for all those surrounding areas. It actually, the suicide bug hit hard for me about a month ago. A good friend of mine in Lufkin took his life, and it just shocked literally the community of Lufkin. And we're still in shock, and I'm still in contact with his family. I just talked to his mom this morning. So they're excited that we're making it aware. And we just want to be a beacon of light, right? Of hope, and especially to let the families know that their loved one is not forgotten and that we do see them and we are here for them. And we want to, really snatch the band-aid off the stigma of suicide. So many people are like, oh, they didn't really do that. But we want to let them know that it's okay to not be okay, which is our theme and our motto for Safe Place, that it's okay to not be okay. And just to know that there are resources, there are people here that love you, who are supporting you, and we're here for you. We do have our second annual suicide awareness walk already planned and secured. With Nacogdoches, we'll be at Festival Park on September the 7th. Permits are done and signage is done, and we're excited. So I'm just grateful for a community that backs me and sees, okay, I see what you're doing. I want to support. We're looking for more partners, and we want to get everybody involved because it affects us all in one way or the other. And we just want to be a resource and to make sure that people know that, hey, there's help and there's people here who care. So that's me. I'm the one that cares. And Kinnie is our interim board president, so I'm very excited. I know she's so involved with the Nacogdoches Chamber, so she is our president, and I'm excited.
Well, Elena, I think you found a good place for yourself. You have just inspired, I think, everyone who has heard your words. This is really an accomplishment. I do know now, NAC Safe Place. I will have
That's
that.
safe
Yes,
place.
safe place. Um, Kenny, you answered a couple of my questions. If you don't mind, we're going to open up for questions from the folks that are on the call. But, you know, she touched on some things that were going on in my mind. You mentioned the building, so we can talk about the physical location, Elena. Where
Yes,
is that?
ma'am. So it's the old CPL building right across. It's in the across from Memorial Hospital where they used to draw blood.
Yes,
That's,
gotcha.
let me give you the official address. Dr. Farron, who owns that building, sent our lease, and it has the address.
Well, when Kenny mentioned that about the age that some mental health, can kind of make itself known at age 14 at that early. I mean, obviously, teachers, I'm sure, as well as the family members, are aware of young people uh, that they may have questions about. So, do you have? I mean, I assume you're going to accept anyone who calls. Does it matter what
Anyone
age?
who calls. So everybody will have to sign a waiver that comes in, and our attorney is working on a waiver now. Because again, it is non-clinical, where we will have volunteers that'll come in, like social workers. Will actually work with the School of Social Work and allow the interns to get hours uh, with volunteering at the safe place when we're open. But they'll sign a waiver, but any age, honestly. It doesn't matter the age, as long as their parent, if they're, a minor, as long as the parent is okay with dropping them off and picking them back up, if I'm okay with that. Hmm.
And as far as the fundraiser, I saw where there was a link placed in the chat for that. It sounds like you have some creative thinking going on for a new event in Nacogdoches. Thank you for opening that.
Yeah,
Does anyone have?
apparently I was told it's our first annual, so I'm guessing we're doing it again next year. I wanted to see how this one went first.
Well, if you're down to 24 tickets, you're doing well. Does anyone have a question for Elena or Kenny at this point?
Charlotte just knew that I would probably be a real issue for any of the people if she sold me. And I had told her that I would take whoever bought me on a cruise, and that kind of bothered her as well. So
Oh
I
my
talked it
Lord.
out. So that there's nothing about jealousy with her. She'd be happy to have me go away. But anyway, that's that. I just had to comment on that, Elaine.
Well, we actually have somebody from eTech that's being auctioned off. So I just sent a message to Veronica to see if they're buying a table to support Lamarcus. So eTech will be represented.
That's great. One other thing I was going to mention, yes, we appreciate your intention for joining our chamber. We look forward to working with you more. But what about businesses in our community having something on their break room bulletin boards or in their business, again, creating awareness for their employees, the people that are in their businesses every day? Would you be able to provide something like that?
Absolutely. And actually, a new venture that I'm getting into is going to be doing some like Zoom calls with businesses to, let them know how to recognize signs of those employees who are struggling, how to talk to them, how to communicate with them, and how to get them the help that they need. So absolutely, they can all contact me, and I'll be doing that under the Oceans umbrella. So absolutely, because Oceans is a member of the chamber. So if they want to contact me on how to get that started, we can definitely, would love to talk to them about it.
And it looks like Michelle Cox has a question. Michelle?
Yes, good morning. So my question was, as far as like the functioning of NAC Safe Place, do you plan to have just someone is on call, and then if there's a need, then they go and show up at that time, or are they expected to like be there all night and be there at their shift?
Right. So somebody will actually be physically at the building from 6 p.m. to midnight, right? If somebody calls after that, we have a phone number through Project Broadcast that they can call or text that we will give to, they will log in, the person who's on call that night will log in so they'll be able to get the calls. And then they can be dispatched out, right? And we will have like a security camera so anybody that just shows up, it'll come automatically and we'll say, hey, somebody's on their way to you, and we'll talk to them through the ring until somebody arrives at the office.
There you go. And do you plan to have like two people at a time? Do you think that just for the safety of the volunteer, always
Absolutely.
have two
It'll
people,
always
especially
be.
with minors? You don't want to have an adult with a minor, or even just like if I were there alone, I'd feel uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah, no, it'll be two people there at all times, and also police presence will be surrounding the building every time somebody drives on Mound. I've worked with Officer Handy,
Okay.
who is actually trying to get a mental health officer started for Nacogdoches, and so he once we open, there'll be circling all night.
Okay, that's good to know. And then as far as resources while they're there, do you plan to have things that they can read, things they can watch that kind of help them
We'll have
with their
TVs. We'll
Mhm.
have TVs on the screen where we'll be playing Dr. Carolina Leaf, things of hers and books there. And then if they still want to talk, we'll have the interns or the therapists available, the volunteer therapists available, as well as myself, if they do
Mhm.
want to just talk. And again, if they feel like they are just not safe, if they like, I still feel bad, we'll get them to that higher level of care that they need to keep them safe.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, I am really happy that you have the vision for this. I want to say the work you did on your degree and the experience you gained going through that process, I'm sure you're able to apply. So it wasn't a waste of your time. I know that. Okay, I think we're going to move along. Elena will definitely put your contact information when we post this later if folks want to follow back up with you, Kenny, as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you
Absolutely.
both. Thank you both. We appreciate you. Um, Miss Ashley Morgan, our Executive Director of Visit Nacogdoches, is with us on the call. Hi, Ashley. What's going on?
Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. And that was a great presentation, by the way. I'm so happy to hear about those efforts in Nacogdoches because we all know they're much needed. So this weekend is going to be another busy one. We've got the Nacogdoches Summer Squash happening in Festival Park. Let's all hope that there's no more rain because we do not want another festival cancellation, and especially this one, which will be the first of its kind. I really love that it's a collaborative effort from all of the musicians and vendors in Nacogdoches. They're all just coming together to show off what we have here And that is one of the reasons that Nacogdoches is a Texas music friendly certified community. It's because we are really good at banding together. And so that's what is happening this Saturday. And we hope you're all there. There's going to be lots of food vendors. It's going to be 10 hours of straight music. And we're really excited for that. So come any time of the day, whatever works best for you and your family. Bring some chairs, bring some, probably not blankets, maybe umbrellas, and sunscreen. And then also this weekend, the Millard's Crossing Historic Village is going to be having a community yard sale. This is a great fundraiser for them and an opportunity for folks to get rid of some junk. I think they might still have spots available, so if you have some stuff you want to get rid of, go ahead and contact Millard's Crossing. Their phone number is on Google. I don't have it memorized. I'm sorry. Who memorizes phone numbers anymore? I can put it in the chat as well. Let's see, next week we are celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week. And this is a great time for us to show off what tourism means to the Nacogdoches community. Nacogdoches brings in a lot more tourists than people realize, and that's why our visitor center is open 7 days a week. We have visitors in our building every day, but also people who don't come through our building, and so we're really excited about that, and we're also excited for them to have more places to stay. Last week we celebrated with the Chamber of Commerce at a groundbreaking ceremony for a new Holiday Inn Express at 3211 South Street. And they also announced that they will be building a Home 2 Suites adjacent to that property in the coming years. And they are converting their old Holiday Inn Express, if I'm remembering correctly, to a Spark by Hilton. So 200 new rooms coming to Nacogdoches, plus renovations to another property. We are really excited about that investment in our town, and it's kind of validating to know that other people are seeing the progress that's happening in Nacogdoches. You know, we see it happening every day, but for someone to, well, a group of people to come in and make that large of an investment shows us that the outside world is seeing it as well. So it's a great time to be in Nacogdoches, and we love to be a part of it. Going back to the scavenger hunt, or did I mention? No, going back to Travel and Tourism Week, we are having a scavenger hunt to celebrate Travel and Tourism Week. It's going to start Sunday or Monday. I'll let Natalie maybe put something in the chat about that. She's leading that effort with Shelby Lero, and the grand prize will be a stay at the Fredonia Hotel. This is geared towards locals to have them be a tourist in their hometown. There's so many attractions here in Nacogdoches that people have never even stepped foot in. We have people come in the visitor center almost every day that say, I've lived here my whole life and I've never come in here. There's so many cool exhibits. We just got done with a field trip that came in here, so we'd love for you to come down to the visitor center and also our historic sites in town and see why so many people come to Nacogdoches and why so many people want to learn about the oldest town in Texas. I think that's all for me right now, but as always, all of our events are on our website at visitnacogdoches.org/events. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Ashley. I'm going to jump in with another kind of a tourism-related topic. Our SFA new president, Dr. Neil Weber, I believe, started yesterday officially. And we were alerted that, unfortunately, SFA is busy with planning meetings and things going on. They couldn't join us for the call. But we do have a orientation session, or SFA is hosting an orientation session. Ashley's actually going to have the opportunity to speak. SFA invites the Chamber of Commerce and the Visitor Center to speak to the students and their families when they come into Nacogdoches for these orientations. And I think it's a marvelous opportunity for us to showcase the good things that are going on here. And thank you again, Ashley, for doing that. And as Dr. Runnels said at that groundbreaking, we are all in the tourism business, whether we know it or not, because when guests are coming into our town, we're probably going to interact with them in some way. So keep that in mind as you're moving through your day, moving through the stores, moving through North Street and University. You might be bumping into one of those visitors.
100%. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay, well, I believe Cassandra Stokes has joined us. She is with the Small Business Development Center at Angelina College. She's very involved with a lot of our small business owners, both looking to expand businesses or create new businesses. Good morning, Cassandra. How are you?
Doing good. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here, and it was great to hear Kinnie and Alana, talk about some very serious things that happen everywhere and affect almost every family in our community at one time or another. So I really appreciate the time and their efforts and everything that they're doing for that. Well, last week, our Small Business Development Center at Angelina College went to Houston to celebrate Tomei Catering and Brittany Vinson. She was our nomination, and as it was mentioned earlier, she was selected as the Small Business Woman of the Year. It was super exciting to be there to share that special moment with her. It's awesome, and she's such an awesome and deserving person. This tomorrow and every month, the Small Business Development Center has a session where anyone in the community can come and learn more about what the Small Business Development Center does. And we get a lot of people who are just kind of curious about how to start or grow their business. And so this month's session is tomorrow at noon. I'll put the website on the chat, and you can get more information about that and other things that we offer at the center. Thursday on May the 16th, NEDCO will have their second annual resource fair. And so we're super excited about that. We're excited about everything when it comes to small business, but we've got such a lineup for this. So we will kick off that resource fair. It's open to the public. You don't have to be in business or anything like that. So you can just come and see the different vendors that we have there. But it's all resources for small businesses. We'll kick it off at 5 p.m. HTO Sarah Carthel and Brendan's Barbecue, Brendan, and Small Town Socials, Amy Mahaffey, will be on a panel discussion there, and they'll be answering some different questions that have to do with starting, owning, and expanding your business. We'll have banks, community lenders, insurance, real estate, city planning, and inspections will be there. Accounting, bookkeeping, IT, a couple of IT workspace like MaxSpace will be there. Marketing, of course, business advisors, and we'll have attorneys, legal. The Chamber of Commerce will be there, and more. And so it's going to be really good, and hopefully we'll have great attendance again this year like we did last year. So the chamber, we are working on the summer. I think we've kind of played around, but we're tentatively going to have a lunch and learn summer session for small business in June on the 23rd. That's a Tuesday. It'll be 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. People will get to be able to come. You don't have to be a business owner necessarily. You can work for a business, but you can come and learn how to design and post social media marketing pieces on the various different platforms. So there'll be more on that in future calls that we have, but we do have the date now. So save it. It's June 23rd. If you know of anyone that needs that kind of help, it'll be some hands-on learning for them. As far as our Small Business Development Center update, we have continued to have a full load of clients. It's really a challenging environment right now for financing. So we're having plenty of small business startups with 1 to 3 employees, but the larger startups that need more funding, has almost stalled. And so we're always constantly thinking of creative ways to fund projects, and we're constantly meeting with bankers to have them share ideas with us on different things we can do to have some of our larger small businesses start. But we've had several SBA loans get approved over the last month, and one of them was here in Nacogdoches, and so we're super excited about that $1 million project getting off the ground here pretty soon. And they plan on opening before the end of the year, and so I'll have more on that later. And yeah, and we're just moving along. So that's my update.
Thank you, Cassandra. You really bring a lot to our area. Thank you so much for helping. I mean, and it really doesn't matter what industry or product or service. I've talked to some of your clients. You have the answers to the questions and the right ways to point them and the resources they need so they can move forward with their businesses. You really are a treasure. Thank you so much, you and your team.
You're very kind. Thanks.
Does anyone have any questions for Cassandra? I wanted to thank her also for mentioning the business development series and that lunch and learn. It really will be the hands-on, and we're looking forward to seeing how people can manipulate either whether it's a laptop or their iPhone or their device in their hands. So that's going to be a fun one. Okay, well, I see Monica Loa jumped on our call. Monica, we're going to put you on the spot a little bit. If you would like to go right now and talk a little bit about Carrie and what's going on over there.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I missed the first part of the call. I was at the Nacogdoches CTE signing day, so we're really happy to support Nacogdoches ISD with their signing day to Tarleton and Mississippi State, of course, SFA, Angelina, all the wonderful places. So again, apologies I am late. I am so happy to report on some things for SFA and Carrie, specifically the Center for Applied Research and Rural Innovation. So we are moving things right along. Summer is coming. A semester just ended last Friday. Grades are getting in. So if you're needing anything from SFA, you let those faculty know that they are needed and wanted and all the things. But specifically for Carrie, we are working with our county judges in the 12 Deep East Texas County area, and we are scheduling our follow-ups for the FRED Forums for Rural Economic Development. And so we will be hosting those again this year, kind of as a follow-up from last year. If anyone's not familiar with them, we basically have a forum for community members, stakeholders, industry leaders, city governance from each of the counties, just to come and talk about their county and how SFA can help make an impact on economic development, workforce, and all of those areas within our Deep East Texas area. So we will be following up with those. This, hopefully by the end of next week, actually, we'll have them all scheduled within the county. So more to come on that. But even as important, we are having a groundbreaking for our renovations for our building that will open next year. So the date is going to be June 18th. We are working with our wonderful Nacogdoches Chamber to help us get that all together. So we are super excited for that. Invitations to follow, but I can share my information if anyone has a special interest in attending. We are hoping to have it on social media, again, some invitations as well as communications from our SFA affiliation, leadership. But it'll be June 18th at 1:30, I believe. Right after lunch. So come join us for some refreshments. We don't know what the tour will look like just yet. We're hoping to all have some hard hats and be able to go in the building to view all the renovations. They are doing wonderful things, and we just started about 6 to 8 weeks ago on renovating the building. So in case you others are not familiar with where we're going to be housed, our Carrie Hub that will be open to the community as well as faculty and staff and students at SFA. It will be in the old Science Research Center. For others who may be more familiar with the old AHEC building, it's right beside there on the loop. Or it's across from the old FedEx building on the loop. So one of those should resonate with most. So anyways, we are super excited about that, to have the groundbreaking for Carrie. Again, it'll be June 18th at 1:30. But if anybody else has any questions about that date or our Fred forums, please reach out to me. Thank you again, Kelly.
Thank you. Again, that was Monica Loa with SFA Carrie. We appreciate you. Staying on the SFA line of thought, I know Gary Lee Ashcraft has been on this call with us. He is involved with SFA Sawmill Sixth Man.
I am indeed. The only thing I need to talk about is Michael McBroom is the new athletic director. He's worked closely, I think, at West Texas A&M with incoming, or he's here, President Neil Weaver, Dr. Neil Weaver. There'll be a reception for Michael at the Baker Patilda building on tomorrow at from 4 to 6 if anyone's interested in coming and meeting him. I can tell you he's going to be a hands-on guy. Ryan Ivy got us started in terms of an overall collective. Michael has told most of the collective people stand down until he gets here and gets settled, and I think he's going to be very hands-on, which I look forward to that leadership, and be a lot of changing going on, so I'll have something to report if I'm still hanging around. So there you go. That's my report. Axum Jacks. All right. Bye.
Thank you, Gary Lee. Caroline Garner, who is the president and CEO of our Nacogdoches Area United Way, is working with the Give 5 program group right now. We've heard about that program on this call in the past. We've seen other information about it. The chamber actually is participating. We were giving our presentation to this group of prospective volunteers a little earlier this morning, and so she's not able to join the call, but we did want to mention, or she wanted to certainly thank everyone who was a part of Do Dat Barbecue, who attended Do Dat this year. It has set a new record, I believe, in participation in fundraising for the organization, and will certainly be applied to the organizations and the agencies that United Way works with. So we can just imagine the good things that are going to come from not only being able to go to Do Dat again, but then to see the good things that happen in our community because of that event. So thank you again for that. We are looking at the Day of Caring coming up for United Way's event of Day of Caring on June 21st. And that is when volunteers from different businesses, organizations, maybe just individuals out there that know or have this opportunity to join, to go into areas and help build, help freshen up, help regenerate, rejuvenate, whatever it may be, whatever the project deemed around our community. We can go in and help those areas, and there will be people that will benefit from that, but I think all of us as a community will definitely benefit. So please, if you're interested in getting back involved in Day of Caring or trying it for the first time, you can reach Caroline Garner at the United Way office. Kinnie Reina also serves on that board. Kinnie, do you have any other information that I may have forgotten about? I see we have Allocations Day coming up as well.
Yep, they're currently in accepting applications from nonprofits for the allocations. I don't know what the deadline is for that, but we will start maybe the end of May or early June, because July 9 is the day that we will make the allocations as a board. And then gearing up for campaign season this fall, and starting to get entities involved in that. And so if your organization and your work site is not involved in United Way campaign contributions, let one of us know, and we can help you out with that.
Thank you, Kinnie. And I'm just going to mention the two agencies that work with United Way that have events going on. There is a Price is Right fundraiser, by the Christian Women's Job Corps, and it's a Tupperware fundraiser, which is also kind of different for us. That's coming up May 17th, also this week. And then Nacogdoches Hope will be hosting a come and go reception celebrating their 30 years of serving Nacogdoches, and that's going to be on May 21st, starting at 4:30 for a few hours there at their location on East Main Street. So try and make it by there at some point that evening to congratulate them. And we're wrapping up our hour. We actually had so much good information shared today. Thanks again to Kinnie, Reina with Burke, and Alana Culpepper with NAC Safe Place. We appreciate you both being here. I put the calendar link for chamber events there. Please know everyone is invited to the Alive After 5. It's happening this week. It's also Thursday from 5:30 to 7. So I know there will be a business resource fair going on downtown. Feel free, if you need to go there, get information, have some conversations with those experts that will be there ready to help. Head over to Motorhomes of Texas for Alive After 5. There'll be good food, there'll be entertainment. I believe Texas Size Selfie's going to be back there, so you can take some great selfies and capture these moments. So we hope you can make that event as well. Our County Judge, Greg Sow, will be speaking at our Eggs and Issues this month too, and that happens a week from Thursday. Eggs and Issues is a monthly membership meeting. It starts at 7:30 at the Fredonia Hotel. So please get your RSVP in for that now, so we'll have a good head count. There's a slew of ribbon cutting celebrations, businesses like Backyard Breeze Custom Pools, general and bariatric surgery specialists. GetCap, the Greater East Texas Community Action Partnership, is having a ribbon cutting at their new location this week on Thursday. I know they'd love to see you there. Brushing Up NAC will have a ribbon cutting later this month too, as well as the Solid Foundation for their new mobile tutoring center. So wow, things are going on in Nacogdoches, good things. And thank you all for your part in that. I'm going to say, have a prosperous day and enjoy the week ahead. Thanks again for attending.